Okay, good morning everyone, and today in our English we were learning to retrieve information from a text. Okay, you should all have the rationing text that we're going to be reading all together, so if you can follow please as we read. Rationing. When food rationing began in Britain in January 1940, butter, bacon and sugar were the first to be restricted. Other items were added to the rationing list during the war until 1954, when restrictions ended. Ration books. Rationing books were used to make sure everyone got their fair share. Everyone was split into 3 groups with different allowances given to adults. Children between the ages of 5 and 16 were given more eggs and milk but less meat. Children under 5 were given extra eggs and milk and a first pick fruit. Just scroll down. As there were no big supermarkets, people had to travel to different shops to buy different items. Example, bakers for bread, greengrocers for vegetables. The shopkeeper would stamp or remove coupons in ration books which showed that they had had their ration of that item. The Ministry of Food. During the war, a Ministry of Food was appointed by the government who would help to control and regulate the food supplies available. Between April 1940 and November 1943, the Ministry of Food was Frederick, Marquis of Lord Walton. Lord Walton was responsible for the rationing system and he encouraged people to make the most of what they had. He worked alongside the Ministry of Agriculture, who established the Dig for Victory propaganda campaign, which encouraged people to grow their own food. This was a very successful campaign. Okay, with that in mind, this text that we've been looking at today, I'm going to study, I want you to think back to yesterday's lesson where we were starting to look at the success criteria for such a non-chronological report. What features can you see in this text? What features can you see in this text? Yes? Bullet points, yes, absolutely. Bullet points, there they are. What else can we see? Yeah.
It's got 2 subheadings.
2 subheadings, absolutely. What are those subheadings?
Ration books and the Ministry of Food.
Absolutely, so ration books and the Ministry of Food, there are subheadings, yeah.
The picture.
Yeah, we've got a nice picture there, haven't we?
What time of year it is.
It tells you when, exactly, some details like the 5 W's that we thought about. Didn't have to have all of them, but the 5 W's, one of them being a when there, yeah.
It's got a main title.
Yeah, it's got our main title, the rationing, which is right up here on the top there. Yes?
It has photos and a bit of captions.
Yep. Normally, but I don't think this example has got it, but yes, they would normally have, yes?
Information.
Absolutely, information. Does it have to be in time order?
No.
No, because that's what the non-chronological means that we unpicked yesterday. Yeah.
It's set out in paragraphs.
Yeah, we've got nice clear paragraphs. And we've got at the beginning, the first paragraph is the introduction. Well done. So it gives a bit of a feel about how it's all, what this text is all about. Okay, well done. Okay. On the back, we've got, if you like to turn over, we've got Lord Wootton also worked hard to encourage people to be creative and try new things, including whale meat. The head chief of the Savoy Hotel in London tried to encourage people at home to use and grow vegetables and develop a meatless pie. This was known as the Woolton pie, and Lord Woolton himself even helped to advertise it. Eating out. Restaurants were not rationed at the beginning of the war, and so some people who could afford it would eat out and save their ration coupons. However, some people complained that it was unfair that people who could afford to eat out were unable to eat better, were also able to eat better. So the government made restaurants restrict their prices to no more than 5 shillings, meaning eating out was more accessible to everyone. People who worked were usually able to eat a good meal fairly cheaply during their working day, and Lord Woolton encouraged that children attending school got a free lunch every day and extra milk. other rationing. It wasn't only food that was rationed during the war. Petrol, soap, clothes, timber and also were in limited supply. Clothing ration books were issued and people were encouraged to make, do and mend. Okay, so on the reverse of your sheet you've also got other information. And again, further examples of more information and another subheading, eating out. Notice that this is arranged in a little box. Yesterday we also talked about having fact boxes or did you know boxes or quiz boxes also in non-chronological reports. At the end here, other rationing, extra bits of information in another paragraph and summing up. Okay.